Hello, everyone. Today appears to be the day of unnecessarily politically correct and diplomatic headlines. I'm not sure whether news sources are being extra cautious because we have so many volatile and inflammatory situations around the world, but it's as if everybody was just trying to be extra cautious in how they phrase things, thus presenting things in an almost amusing way. Let me show you what I mean. First things first, the discussion about Ukrainian forces in the Ryazan region crossing the Dnieper River and working to establish a foothold there, as well as ongoing efforts by the Ukrainian armed forces to work on Russia's military presence in Crimea. So, fighting across Dnipro could put huge pressure on Kremlin control. It's not could. It is. It's already doing that. And overnight attack damages Russian fleet. It's not just damages. This is very vague. There were actually several vessels that were damaged to a point where they can no longer be used. Here's another one that Russian command will face significant difficulties in redeploying units from other parts of the front. Well, yes. Now, let's translate this into plain English. Here's what's happened. Remember, we were talking about this. So in their ongoing futile attempts to do something about the industrial center of Avdiivka, Russian military pulled everything they had to that area, to the Ukrainian east. And then they discovered that left holes in their defenses in the southeast and the south. So now they're trying to play musical troops and figure out how to close those holes, but it's not working. So that is what this article is trying to say, actually. There's some trains in Russia's Ryazan region that were derailed. They were cargo trains. Unclear yet what exactly they were carrying. But basically 15 train carriages were derailed southeast of Moscow. Possibly more. Some of the media outlets are reporting that there were explosions, which suggest an act of sabotage. But initially, the authorities reported this as unauthorized interference. Sweetie, if it is an act of sabotage, be it by Ukrainian undercover agents or by resistance within Russia, of course it's going to be unauthorized. It's not like they're going to submit a request in triplicate with signature and notarized and saying, hey, could we please just derail some of your trains? Could we do that? It's going to be unauthorized. There's been some shelling in Kiev, which is new, at least as of the last couple of months. So here is what's been happening. Kiev had 2 of the Patriot air defense systems, and the systems were working so well that eventually Russian military stopped attacking Kiev because it was just a huge waste for them. As I mentioned before, the rockets, the drones, all of that, it's all very expensive. The rockets particularly. Missiles are expensive. And so they decided to stop wasting missiles in Kiev and went to shell other locations. So this is the first time in a month and a half, almost 2 months, that Kiev has been shelled. The air defense systems are still working well, but there has been some damage. And then there is this. Remember how many times through the course of these reports I mentioned that any authorities established by Russian military or civilian government in Ukraine and the occupied areas are bound to meet with a sticky end? Well, in the immortal words of Freddie Mercury, another one bites the dust. A former police chief who was installed by the Russian government in Ukrainian city of Luhansk has been assassinated via a car explosion, and Ukraine's defense intelligence took credit for it. Again, you have been warned. You could have refused, you could have left. And I continue to believe that everybody who is not invited on Ukrainian territory should do precisely that. Lay down your weapons, turn around, go home. Or wherever you want. Just get out of Ukraine. Otherwise, the same thing will happen to you. Several such assassinations have been carried out. Some of them were carried out by the locals, civilians. Some of them have been carried out by Ukrainian intelligence. Either way, they're happening, they're real, the results are in. Folks, if you're a Russian official in Ukraine, there is nothing good in your future. Just leave.